Alright, welcome to episode 91 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today I am looking at a film that I can't believe is almost 20 years old now, Howl's Moving Castle. There is some phenomenally ambitious and complicated animation here. Let's break down a few scenes. Wow, and the sound cues in this are terrific too. We start out with Miyazaki-san's boards, wonderful as always. Look at the description going on there with the tones, the light source, the expression, the lines on the face. There's terrific lines everywhere here. So the overlapping of lines is what shows the depth and the wrinkles on the older skin here as Sophie has suddenly aged. We've got this wonderful interaction between the hand and the face there. Now this hand's pressing against the face. Anytime you can get that kind of interaction to show that this is happening in a believable world, even if it's not realistic. And look how much the skin is stretching down here as the hand's pulling that skin down. Look at all these wonderful tones that are being drawn on here. Again, a reminder, this is always drawn on every frame, these tones. It takes a lot of work. Look at all these lines, just putting them in blue here. So much work for every drawing of this here. Like clay, treating the skin like something that's very malleable, stretching down there. And these lines, whenever you can get like a line behind something, that's very important. That's very descriptive. Behind part of the skin, they're pulling, straightening all those curved lines out, bending those knuckles back, giving us maximum shape change there. And then we let go and the skin snaps back up. Not like that boing, but just kind of a floop. And then again, the sound cues in here are terrific. Skin's not too springy because she's an old woman now. Again, the boards have the right ideas to follow here. So much we can take from that. And a terrific silhouette. And here's the castle itself. So this is, I've seen concept art. This is pretty much exactly what they had. Turnip Head and Sophie are at the bottom there for scale. The castle is walking forward. So it gives it a 2D appearance because we'll go into a couple things. So one of it is the motion. You can see that there's a lot of overlapping shapes. Almost on every frame, there's something moving. It's not the entire castle moving every frame, but little bits of it are. So the bottom is moving right and the top is moving left. It's almost like this huge body that's swaying and following the COG, the center of gravity. And then you can see this here. I mean, if you look at the time code at the top, pretty much everything is on 3s. Because it's 3D animation, but when you put it on 3s, 8 frames a second, it gives it a 2D look. And also not changing angle on anything, it all just feels like a moving painting almost. All the smoke is shooting out here as the castle settles down. Lots of different rotations on different pivot points. Yeah, it's just terrific overlap and contrast there. And now we've got Turnip Head and Sophie at the bottom there in clear silhouette. And you can see the smoke goes whoosh, and then once it has come out, it just kind of dissipates and slows. Calcifer here is our living fire demon, and Howl here with the one-handed egg break. He's very slick. Boom, there comes that egg out. The oil is bubbling around the eggs, and the bacon just kind of randomly and jittery. So Calcifer, two-color flame on Calcifer here. Calcifer is a happy little fire a lot of times, and just eats the eggshells. Calcifer will just chew them up. And of course, chewing them up with the mouth closed wouldn't be interesting, or as interesting. So Calcifer chews like a little kid. And Calcifer is kind of childlike in some ways, so that fits as well. Plus, it's just visually that much more interesting. And just the idea of a fire, a live fire chewing up eggshells, it's a wonderful idea. And you can see in the boards there, it wasn't nearly as cartoony. There wasn't pupils drawn. It was just kind of this suggestion of a face on the fire. So Sophie's body, as her attitude, as her energy changes, it gets younger and older throughout the movie. So here she's starting to get more energetic. Look at the debris, the complex shapes that's going on here. We've got the smoke drawn with defined lines and then blurred out. It's and you can see over there that there are tones drawn on the smoke, but it's subtle, but it's still effective. It's supporting the light source coming from the right. Again, the boards give us the general idea, but there's still so much acting that needs to be done. All that debris is animating in the foreground there, and the dust. Backhand sweep. Get those hands really gripping the broom tightly. Look at the detailed backgrounds everywhere, all through here. Fast motion contrasting with the slow motion. Slow, 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 moving along. There's the leading edge of the broom, and the trailing edge, boom, pops up, straightens out, regains its stiff shape. Quick weight shift, as again, Sophie's shown to be more energetic here. And yeah, she's just moving along and starting to take control of her life. Suliman's henchmen here, they're scary. Just this animation here, first look at the smoke and the embers moving in the foreground. We get all this nice contrast, bits of debris floating around, and all of this is going on with the smoke as well. And then we've got all the bloop, 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 all these shapes coming out. So they're spitting out rocks as they move forward. Just all these different, henchmen have combined into this one shape. 4 different colors here, 4 main colors. Got the highlights, got tones, and got the very, very dark tones. Sometimes moving on ones, contrasting again with the foreground elements. And you get these different pieces coming out. So you got these hats, you've got which represent where the heads are of these characters once they can turn back into human-like characters. Now I thought that was an arm coming out. No, it turns out it was a leg, and it's almost just appendages with crazy dragging. Look at the smear there with this hand or leg or whatever it is. The gooey motion coming down there. And you can see the distorted bodies starting to come out with these huge necks, and the heads kind of just swallowed up in the body. And here's another one where we've got 3 different ones coming through. One of them on the left is eating through the wood. One is coming through the doorway. Again, we're continuing to float the debris and the embers through the scene. Wonderful background. Look at all these terrific rocks and wood textures back there. Again, reaching out. Going for maximum contrast here, slaps it down. Got it, and it's not just an elbow. There's an elbow and a knee and all kinds of different joints as we're going along here. Reversing that hand, getting that line of action, coming down, slap, boom, ooh, boom. Plants it on the ground, and you listen to the sound here. You've got this boom, 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 boom. Really just kind of scary sounds as all the hands come forward to walk the character forward. Boom. Here, down comes that hand there. And you can see, again, we've got a knee and an elbow there, double, triple joints. The light source on the character has to match the background, of course. You've got all these highlights on screen left on the character and on the background, all the rocks on the walls. Here comes that arm up, reverse, here comes down, boom. Hits closer and closer to camera as it's walking towards us. And where this is kind of Sophie's, I think it is Sophie's point of view. So she's watching all this happen. So many distorted human-like shapes, even though it's a locked-off camera. It's not like it's a handheld. It's just suggesting it's her point of view. Walking towards us. It's just terrifying. The debris is continuing to tie the scenes together, adding the color contrast. Yeah, again, you got this terrific, these orange sparks with Sophie's blue dress. She's shoulders up here. She's going to antic. Now the antic down, top of antic, for maximum shape change. And as the shoulders come up, the head goes down. She's defiant. She's not afraid. She was afraid of these things before, but now she's just, irritated by them. She's standing up for herself. Light source keeping consistent, coming from the right. That was, we've almost gone 180 degrees from the previous camera there. And again, just look at all these tones. The clothes are too big for her now. She's younger and she's still wearing the older clothes. And it's just, there's so much work put into this film. It's wonderful to look at. If you haven't seen it, like I say, 20 years old almost already. And so much complex, ambitious animation there. I loved watching that again. And hope you like my breakdown. I'll see you next time. Thanks for checking it out.